I have served Rome as a soldier for 10 years, the last 5 in what we all call the armpit of the empire. What a disgusting place, this Palestine. Most of our subjected peoples learn to give in and put up with Roman rule, but not here. These cursed Jews, they whine, complain, and dare to call us unclean. Their religious festivals have become a convenient excuse to riot. They hungrily look for some military leader they call a messiah to come and set them free from the world's most powerful empire. I'd like to see them try to take their naive confidence in their local god and stage an uprising against Rome. Then they'd see what real oppression is. Well, by the time Governor Pilate finished pandering to the priests who brought in Jesus of Nazareth, my patrol and I were disgusted with these Jews. When Pilate told us to flog this prisoner who claimed to be their king, we couldn't believe our luck. We could now vent our anger toward a worthy target. Brutus was our man for the task. His gruesome expertise was with the cat o' nine tails, strips of leather embedded with broken bits of bone and glass. How well he knew his business. Scores of times I've watched as he shredded chunks of flesh from victims' backs. Few can walk when it's over. I've seen many die on the spot. Today, though, we weren't to kill our man, just get him close. We stripped Jesus to the waist, and Brutus gave him 39 lashes, each one more savage, in the hope of getting louder moans from the prisoner. Most victims beg for mercy, but not this one. His agony was obvious. It showed on his face, and the blood ran from his back where hardly any skin remained. But there was no hate or defiance in his eyes. It was as if there was a space inside him where the violence of the lash could not reach. When Brutus finished, he stared at Jesus and shook his head. Soon after, hands shaking, he dropped the whip. Wait, I've got an idea. Quintus, another guard, left the room and returned a moment later with a rich red tunic. Ecce, behold, a garment fit for a king. Following his lead, we tore the clothes off Jesus' limp body and put the pretend robe on him. Some of us found a thorn bush and formed a crown from its twisted branches. We jammed the crown down onto his head, pushing the thorns into his scalp until blood ran down his face. I found a long branch to use as a scepter, and we put it in his hand. We were now ready to give a mocking honor to this mighty king. We knelt before him, crying, "Hail, King of the Jews!" I spat at him, as if giving him a royal kiss or greeting. Others struck him in the face, feigning honor. In doing so, we all vented our pent-up anger toward these insolent Hebrews. Still, no matter what, the Nazarene didn't resist. Though his face was blood-soaked, our eyes could still make contact. I was surprised. There was a gentleness in his expression. Though racked with pain, he still managed to see right into my soul. And could it be, forgive me? Suddenly sickened at our barbaric display, I backed away. I was relieved to hear Marius say, "All right, boys, the party's over. Get him ready." We saw in Jesus no anger or resentment, only a resigned patience. I watched the others tear the bloody robe and crown of thorns from Jesus' battered body and begin to dress him in his own clothes again. Though barely standing upright, he followed our every order without resistance, like a lamb for slaughter. "Lucius, help us. Here, tie his robe." One of them motioned to me. A few moments ago, I would have cinched the cord tightly around his waist, not caring that it would bite into the tender skin on his back. But now I found myself gentler. We began to lead him out of the room. His steps, though faltering, seemed strangely purposeful, guided by an inner, ironclad will. Something was happening that I didn't understand. I felt like a pawn in someone else's game. Perhaps none of this, the flogging, the mocking, the beating, Jesus' silence, was merely an accident.